This time around, I'm attempting to be a wife first, not all the time since it's not generally imaginable. And in some cases, I'm a mother first in the Waldo VIP connections. There are much of the time stories of affection, that enthusiasm, and some of the time, even tumult. Tina Knowles and Richard Lawson's marriage is no special case, their process loaded up with promising and less promising times to everybody's failure. We should plunge into the entrancing story of how these influence couples' marriage turned into a cycle of a wreck tin and oil's telephone love again, after her separation from music mogul Matthew Knowles. Then entered Richard Lawson, an eminent entertainer who, deeply inspired in and knows their romantic tale, appeared as though a fantasy catching the hearts of fans, overall anyway. As the colloquialism goes, love is an excursion, not a location. Tyner and Richard before long found that their marriage was not safe to the difficulties looked by any couple. The tensions of popularity, mixed families, and individual contrasts started to incur significant damage, prompting a progression of conflicts and misconceptions. The disputable blend of their connections added one more layer of intricacy to their relationship with fans, staying aware of each and every move they made, completely investigating, analyzing, and open misrepresenting the broad things in the media. Bits of gossip and tattle started to flow, portraying a marriage in palm oil. The public's voracious craving for show just filled the fire, making it challenging for Tina and Richard to explore their issues. The two have heard their reasonable part of muddled minutes and conflicts of characters were all essential for the bundle, which was also particularly disturbing as individuals expected. Richard was Tina's knight in a sparkling hour following her disagreeable history with ex-Matthew Knowles. The thoughtless connection between Tina Knowles and Matthew Knowles, a couple whose set of experiences is defaced by unfaithfulness, and the outcomes that followed into the charming adventure supper. And Martin Knowles were once viewed as an influence couple in industry. To assemble, they fabricated a domain, sustaining their vocations of their little girls Beyonce and Solange. Their association appeared to be rugged, with Gina's imaginative virtuoso and Mafia's business discernment supplementing each other impeccably. Anyway, underneath the surface, breaks started to frame as murmurs of Matthew's treachery started to course. The couple's truly amazing parkade begun to disintegrate. Reports picture uncovering Matthew's contribution with various ladies beyond his marriage. General society was left stand as subtleties of his undertakings, including two occurrences of impregnation, became known. The disloyalty was an individual disaster for Tina, as well as a huge test for their family. The disclosure of Matthew's betrayal had sweeping outcomes. Tina Knowles fell quick to a definitive betrayal, prompting the disintegration of their marriage. The public looked as the family explored the repercussions with Beyonce and Salon Code in their folks broke relationship. The aftermath from the undertaking would everlastingly send the elements of the Knowles family. Tina, at long last chosen to head out in different directions from her long-lasting husband, with a purpose for this separation being, in all honesty, Matthew's extramarital issue, bringing about the shower of his second kid outside their marriage. She had, without a doubt, contacted her limit, following quite a while of remaining by her man. She chose to assume command over her own satisfaction and bid wild to a marriage that presently not served her. It truly took colossal solidarity to pursue such a tough decision, particularly when it included the public examination that accompanied being at the center of attention. Well, it appeared Matthew couldn't avoid the charm of enticement, driving him down a misleading way. Following a kid beyond his marriage wasn't, without a doubt, a double-crossing of trust, not exclusively to Tina yet. In addition to their whole family, an assertion was subsequently delivered, where the two of them said the choice in our marriage is a neighborly one. We remain companions, guardians, and colleague. On the off chance that anybody is tolerating a revolting massified, they will be unfortunately disheartened. We request your regard of our protection as we handle this matter. And on the off chance that that wasn't sufficient show for you, even Sovereignty herself dropped him as her authority chief. The situation starts to get interesting. Apparently, even the connection between a girl and father can be stressed. When truth is broken, the waiter proficient binds with Matthew, as her supervisor said a lot about her obligation to respectability and steadfastness. She's not one to think twice about values in any event. With regards to family, and with a separation concluded, Knowles wasn't surrendered the sentiment division. She said you can find love at any edge you need to put it all on the line, alluding to her that new husband. Yes, you speculated that right the two tied the notes with such ease in light of the fact that while her union with Lawson was new at the time, the relationship clearly wasn't. Truth be told, Lawson and Knowles go way back, and throughout the long term they drove fans on in their romantic tale. And joint profession pack Lawson took to Instagram and shared that the two truly met a long time back through Lawson's late sister, who was likewise Knowles' dearest companion. Alongside a photograph of the couple clasping hands, he spouted about his better half's inward and external magnificence, composing, "What was so striking was that your excellence kept on being upgraded by your staggering heart, sympathy, compassion, liberality, and magnanimity." He additionally uncovered you were pregnant with Beyonce at that point, and wedded, so my unbelievable fascination for you then could reside in my dream. Anyway, fans alluded to this, contrastingly hypothesizing that Tina was not exactly made a big deal about her ex's undertakings during their marriage, simply because she also was having a hurl with Richard. At the time, at any rate, back in Hall, as per Knowles, he was in God's arrangement that she and Lawson rejoined in a 2022 appearance on the Tamron Corridor show. She made sense of "I've known Richard for a considerable length of time, and when exceptionally associated it was I feel like a gift from God. I truly imply that since I supplicated in a 2021 Instagram present devoted on their commemoration, Noel halted about how Lawson has enlivened her, composing the main example is to not treat life and myself so in a serious way, to be allowed to snicker dance, to be senseless, some of the time to be a human and proud. We most certainly, undeniably saw the gleam of affection Latino, all following our wedding with Richard Lawson. Anyway, fascinatingly, she kept Matthew's last name, Knowles, with her name of being Tina Knowles Lawson. After the wedding, which fans felt was extremely odd, estimating that she kept the name due to the way that their youngsters were at that point qualified for it yet. In any case, the fans continued to pull for the union with workout, as it appeared she was at last in a generally excellent spot as far as finding the perfect individual fuhar on an episode of the raving success narrative series. Dark Love highlighted Tina and her significant other Richard Lawson. The couple focused on how he proposed, and that time a boat ride propelled their choice to take things to a higher level. Yet there is additionally a second when Tina obliterates her better half's inner self and finds can't get enough of taking apart the shade she presented Tina. Makes sense of that she was unfortunate to take a risk on affection, yet petitioned God for the kind of man she needed, until the heap conveyed Richard, when she proceeded to say that Richard is somewhat flawed. The entertainer was paralyzed, and the cameraman zoomed in to catch his not so unobtrusive response. Some of the time we are glad that Tina is talking a reality. And that said, she went excessively far and humiliated her spells. And as per reports, the episode started off the beginning of rough knocks in their relationship, as Richard definitely disapproved of what Tina needed to express. As per web-based entertainment, Action Supper has apparently calm parted from Richard. Following 8 years of marriage, he supposedly changed her name from Tina Knowles Lawson to Tina Knowles on Instagram. Curiously, Tina additionally didn't go to the screening of Richard's new film Dark Fear, during which a fan spotted he was without his wedding band lately. And the pair didn't praise that new wedding commemoration on Instagram, as they had done before in the past. They have likewise not posted any photographs of one another via online entertainment. As of late, Richard didn't go to Jay-Z's mom's wedding, into a long-term accomplice Richard didn't go to Jay-Z's mom's wedding to long-term accomplice Roxanne Wilshire. But Tina was in participation, so what was his justification for not being there, causing fans to guess that something off-putting is truly cooking underneath the two? They keep on charging the marriage has been discreetly canceled with reasons of Tina being purportedly so controlling. And a fuss budget a bundle was apparently attached with a renewed of discourtesy. Was he humiliated, or disregards your companion in broad daylight, or put them in a bad mood? With practically no respects, there is an issue. And the vast majority of the time it's much more regrettable in secret. One fan, composed with another adding, "I truly trust Richard," becomes revived on the grounds that Tina was a hated and hard lady. And she didn't have hauled Richard through her harmfulness. I accept she just utilized Richard to demonstrate to Matthew that she could get another man. And concerning the purportedly discourteous episode, one fan composed she said he was flawed. And he isn't. And she isn't. Not a single one of us are either. There was one more issue. And she expressed with another, essentially composing time to go, "Richard, you merit better love. Doesn't fix everything." So as we just take it all in this genuine, sober copy crease, share with us your considerations in our remarks.